What is up, YouTube? This is Oscar Goodwin here with another 2018 midterm election prediction. Go to my channel, you can see two other election predictions. One, what I actually think is most likely to happen in it, and the other one is how Democrats could get the majority, the path they could take to get that. In this video, though, I'll be discussing the path Republicans can take to get a supermajority, which is 60 or more Senate seats. And in the case that happens, any legislation they want to pass, they wouldn't have to have a single Democrat vote to pass it. Democrats couldn't filibuster it. They couldn't stall the legislation anyways. And also, Trump's very likely to have one more Supreme Court nominee during his first term. So, at that point, he could nominate the most conservative, right-winged extremists he would want as a judge, and Republicans could just push it through without any Democrat obstruction, alright? And so, how this path would go. First, they would have to successfully defend all 8 seats they have up for grabs, including Nevada, which is going to be very hard there. It's trending Democrat. Hillary Clinton won it. Obama's run it. The other senator there is Democrat. And Dean Healer down here, if you at the bottom, you could see, he won re-election 2012 by like less than 1% of the vote. So very hard to defend that, but if they're able to, that would be major. And also this up for grabs seat in Arizona, going back Republican, Democrats will be targeting that strong. Trump won it by a slim majority in 2016, and their current incumbent Jeff Flake, which is a Republican, is out running for re-election there. So just up for grabs seat there. If Republicans can maintain that, they're at 51, which is the majority at that point. But to get a supermajority, the path to go on would be to win these conservative, right-leaning states that have a Democrat incumbent senator, which is Montana, North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, as well as West Virginia. Those states are tend to go Republican most of the time, but for whatever reason, they have a incumbent Democrat senator this time. Most of them were elected in 2006 when there was a big blue Democrat wave in the Senate, and re-elected in 2012, which was a election year, presidential election year, which Democrats turn out more. And also, like in states like Missouri and Indiana, there was a controversy. Republicans made a terrible gaffe about rape and abortion and all that, and cost them seats there that they could have easily picked up. But this election, I don't think Republicans will make those mistakes, and they'll be able to pick those up probably easily. So right now we're at 56 Republicans to 37 Democrats, and there are 7 remaining swing states that could go either way. Out of those 7, Republicans only need 4, and of those, I think the most likely to go would be Ohio. It's becoming more and more Republican every day. The governor there, John Kasich's Republican. He's done a very good job there. It voted for Trump by like more than 8 points. It was the biggest swing in 2016 election. It's just becoming more and more Republican, and so I would think that there's a good shot and a good chance Republicans could pick up the seat there out of those. The next most likely one out of that would be Wisconsin. And I say that because the stateside Republican Party there is like a well-oiled machine. The governor, Scott Walker, has won 3 elections there. And the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, is from there. The former head of the Republican Party, Reince Priebus, he's from Wisconsin. I mean, the party's well-structured in Wisconsin, with a good enough candidate there and good enough funding. Republicans are a big threat to Tammy Baldwin there, the incumbent, and Trump did win 2016, so that kind of just proves how more Republican it's going there. So that would be another one I think the Republicans have a good shot in taking. The next one of those swing states I would say would be Florida, and I would say that especially if Rick Scott, the current governor, decides to run. He's been back and forth on it, but Trump has had a dinner with him recently, which, it's rumored he told him he should run. And if so, that would put Bill Nelson, the current incumbent there, in jeopardy. That would be a very hotly contested Senate race. I mean, both have good name recognition there, both have proven leadership abilities, and both would get good funding. But I would think that would be the most likely case for a Republican victory there, is if they get their current governor, Rick Scott, to run, who's a fairly popular government and has done good in Florida economic-wise, as well as the natural disasters they have. Alright, so now Republicans up to 59, so they just would need one more for that supermajority. And out of all those current states, Minnesota, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, I would say Pennsylvania has the most likely one of going red this election. And I say that because, first off, Trump won it in 2016, which that was the first time Republicans have won that in like 28 years. So that's major. That's not to be understated. Another reason is the other Republican there, the other senator there is a Republican. So it's not like they're like afraid to vote for a Republican who's a senator either in elections like that. And in fact, this current guy who's running as a Democrat, he beat a very conservative Republican, Rick Santorum, there back in 2006. And there's a lot of congressmen from Pennsylvania that's Republican. And the current front runner for the GOP nominee, I think his name's Lou Barletta. Trump's done endorsed him. He's a Republican congressman from there. And current polls with him and Bob Casey, the incumbent. Let me go down there and show you Bob Casey. Oh. There he is, Bob Casey. Their polls between him and that Lou Barletta guy are kind of neck and neck right now. Bob Casey has kind of a slim lead over him, but that could easily falter. So that's why I would say Pennsylvania would be the Republicans' next best bet to focus on that. They could win it. And that would give them the majority, 60 seats. And they wouldn't have to win any of those other three. And I don't think they would up here in Michigan. The only Republican I can see winning that, 2 words, Kid Rock. But he's recently come out and said he's actually not running for senator, like he had said for a while there and had hyped it all up. And despite all the polls showing, he clearly could probably win that one. But if he's not running, I would say a Democrat picked that one up. Virginia with Tim Kaine. He was Hillary Clinton's vice president, good name recognition, former governor there. Hillary Clinton won that in 2016. That wouldn't hurt him any. It would go, he'll win a re-election if he wants to. In Minnesota, Al Franklin, he just resigned there a couple of days ago, so there's his open seat. Some people are predicting that could be like a swing. Republicans could pick that up just because how he kind of resigned there in shame. But it's a very Democratic state, and he's not running. It's another Democrat that's running, a former lieutenant governor there in Minnesota. So I don't think Al Franklin controversy will really hurt the Democrats anymore since he's resigned and that problem's been dealt with. I think that will stay Democrat. But at that point, you would have a 60 Republican supermajority to 40 Democrats, and that would be huge in getting any type of Republican legislation passed. Trump's agenda would also get passed. I'm sure we'd see that border wall if it got that big. I mean, but I think this is a very unlikely scenario to happen. I think Democrats actually winning a majority is probably more likely than this scenario to happen. And then my other scenario I predicted. So go to my channel to see those two if you would like. Thank you, and we'll see. I mean, it's 10 months away. We'll see how it goes.